If you want to shift your reality, you need to understand the power of your words. In today's video, I want to explore the connection between the words we speak and the effect this can have on our reality, because our words hold so much power. If you want to attract your desired reality, then you have to become very conscious of the words you speak. So this is a huge part of the manifestation process. Hi everyone, my name's Georgia. I'm currently studying a master's degree in consciousness, spirituality and transpersonal psychology. And in my free time, I love to study the links between science and spirituality. Now, one of the areas that I'm particularly interested in is finding the correlations between science and the law of attraction. So in today's video, we're going to explore one aspect of this, which is how our words can actually affect our reality, and there is science to back this up. So if you're someone that believes in manifestation, the idea that our words can affect our reality will not come as a surprise to you. The whole idea of manifestation means that we have to change our thoughts, our beliefs, our feelings to be in alignment with our desire. And a part of that is also making sure that our words are in alignment with our new thoughts and beliefs. It's no good thinking and believing in alignment with our desires whilst consciously speaking the opposite of those things. Now, the law of attraction is a metaphysical concept in the sense that it's not proven by science. Now, this is true if we're talking about manifestation in the sense that we can physically draw a reality to us, but we actually don't need to go as far as this to see the impact that our words can have on shaping our reality. A lot of the manifestation process can actually be explained by neuroscience, and this is where the power of your words comes in. We need to recognise that our words are a reflection of our underlying thoughts or beliefs, right? Unless you're lying, then the words that you speak on a daily basis tend to reflect your beliefs that you have about yourself and reality. For example, if you believe that you're not good at something, then your words are likely to reflect that, and you're probably going to be someone who talks a lot about the fact that you can't do something. Similarly, if you are someone who lacks self-confidence, then that again is probably going to reflect in your words, because you're probably going to talk about yourself in a way that shows that you don't have confidence in your ability to do certain things. Whatever it is, your thoughts and your beliefs are going to come out through your words. And the problem is, by constantly speaking of these things, of these thoughts and beliefs you hold, we are consistently affirming them to ourselves. And by affirming these things, we're actually strengthening the neural pathways associated with them. So our brain has this property called neuroplasticity, which means that through our thoughts and through our actions, we can actually physically rewire the neural pathways in our brain. Now, this works really well if we're thinking positive thoughts and we're strengthening those neural pathways, but it works detrimentally to us if we have negative thoughts and beliefs and we're constantly affirming those through our words, because we're then strengthening the neural pathways that are associated with those negative beliefs. So we get stuck in a cycle where we're making these negative beliefs so deeply habitual because we're physically strengthening the associated pathways in our brain. And because we keep thinking these negative thoughts and affirming them with our words, then we actually start to perceive reality through the lens of these negative beliefs. Now, there's a system in our brain called the reticular activating system that filters incoming sensory information based on what's important to us. So whatever our predominant thoughts are and beliefs, our reality is actually going to be filtered in alignment with those. So if you're thinking negative thoughts and constantly affirming them with negative words, then your reality is going to shift in the sense that you are going to be perceiving things that confirm those beliefs to you. So you're going to start to notice everything that is in alignment with those negative beliefs and filter out anything that would contradict those beliefs, which is only going to make those beliefs stronger, because the more we see evidence for something, the stronger that belief becomes. Now, of course, this also works the other way around. So if you have positive beliefs and you're constantly affirming those beliefs through the words you speak, then instead you're going to start to see things that conform with your positive beliefs instead and strengthen those. So basically, whatever your predominant thoughts are and whatever the words you speak are on a daily basis, whether or not they're bad or they're good, you're going to have that confirmed to you through your reticular activating system. So through this process that's happening in the brain, it becomes very clear that if you want to shift your reality, then you need to shift the words you speak so that they're in alignment with whatever it is that you desire. Now, this is not an overnight process, because you might have spent years programming your mind into a certain set of beliefs. So it's going to take a lot of patience and consistency to shift your beliefs to the new ones that are in alignment with your desired reality. But a huge part of this is becoming conscious of the words you speak, actually learning to pick up on when you're saying negative things that do not match your desired reality, and consciously choosing to speak words instead that do align with it. So this is something I'm currently doing in a couple of areas of my life because I am far from perfect. One example I can give you is that I do not currently have a very good relationship to living in the UK. Basically, I am not the biggest fan of England, so I find myself constantly affirming all of the things I don't like. So a big example of that would be the weather. Pretty much the majority of the time in England you wake up and you look out the window and it is nothing but greyness or rain, which can be quite depressing. But just because that isn't the nicest thing to experience doesn't mean that I should be constantly affirming it alongside other things that I don't like about living here. Because the more that I affirm these things through my words, the more that I am training my brain to zone in on all of the things that confirm my dislike for living in England. So something that I need to do in this case is train my mind to instead focus in on the things that I do actually like about living here. And the more I do this and the more that I train these new thought patterns, then eventually I'm going to train my brain to actually filter in information that confirms that there are things to like about this country. And the same goes for any other area of your life. For example, if you're trying to manifest abundance, then we don't want to be constantly talking about the fact that we don't have any money, that we're poor, that we can't afford to buy things, because it's one thing to not be able to buy something and so you don't buy it based on however much money you have, but it's another thing to constantly affirm that and constantly be talking about how you can't afford something. Because the more that you talk about it, the more you solidify those thought patterns and the more your brain is going to filter in information that confirms those beliefs. So instead we want to switch it round. We want to start talking as if we are abundant so that we can train our mind instead to provide us confirmation of abundance. So if we can be patient and persistent in doing this, in consciously catching ourselves speaking words that don't align with our reality and instead consciously choosing to speak words that do align with our desires, then eventually we are going to actually shift our experience of reality simply because we'll have shifted our perception of reality. So that's from a neuroscientific perspective, but if you're someone who actually believes in the more mystical side of manifestation, like I do, then we assume that actually by changing our thoughts and the words we speak, then we are actually shifting our reality because we're actually drawing a different reality to us. So at that point, it's not just a matter of perception. We believe that we are actually having an influence on our physical reality by changing the words we speak. Now, one way this might happen is by collapsing a potential reality from the quantum field. Now, if you want to know how that might happen, then I have a video where I go in depth into the science behind manifestation from the perspective of quantum physics, so I'll link that here. It's not proven, but there is one interpretation of quantum physics which is very much in line with manifestation. So that's all I have for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all the best in becoming conscious of the words you speak to shift to your desired reality.